Hey, this is Mad Hatter, and today I'm actually here in Minecraft to show you how I've been learning how to edit new videos. If you notice, I've been playing D&D recently. I just haven't been feeling Minecraft for like a few months. So I've been learning how to edit videos better, mainly learning techniques. Those videos are meant for my D&D table. It's not really meant for the general YouTube audience, but if people want to watch it, they're welcome to. I am trying to improve my ability to edit because I get burned out whenever I have to edit too many videos. It's just a thing that a lot of YouTube people have and they probably understand. So I'm going to show you some things that I learned in Davinci Resolve in the last little bit that make my life easier. I'm not saying that I'm back to being able to like play and produce Minecraft content regularly. I might start something soon, but it's kind of touch and go whether or not I have the motivation or not. So I'm going to keep playing D&D, and if I want to play Minecraft, I will, and if I don't, I'm not going to. So let's get into how I do this editing via Davinci Resolve. So first, I'm going to show you a very simple tutorial, and I'm not going to edit this at all. This is going to be me just placing blocks and remembering things and talking about them as I go, and you'll kind of see my recording process. Then I'm going to show you how I quickly edited that into something that is a little bit more presentable for YouTube. So this is going to be a really quick thing. Hey, jumping into the edit. That looked really boring to play at all right now, so I moved it to the end. If you want, there's a link in the description. Okay, here we are in Davinci Resolve. I may be splicing two versions of this together because I recorded it once with my big fat head in the middle of the screen, so we'll see how this goes. But just so that you know, it took me around 10 minutes or so to cut that 3-minute video down to nothing, and that includes me explaining things. This is hopefully going to be mostly just me scanning through. My grand idea was to edit it for the first time without cutting things for you, but we'll see how that goes. So let's go into the unedited. We're going to right click, audio transcribe. It would take about a minute or so. I go into here. You can see there's a lot of spaces. I hit remove silent portions. I hit close. Now, this is not perfect. You can see this right off the bat. You can see it's cutting the end of my words. I actually look at the audio more than I look at the video for this. I'm going to push Alt and Y, which selects all of the video from your playhead, the red line, to the right. I'm going to just expand this a little bit until it's not cutting my words off. And then like that, I'm going to delete. And then I see the silence, and I'm using a speed editor. This is an expensive thing, but I got my version of Studio with it. So not everybody can afford that. I am lucky enough to have one. Thank you to my mother-in-law who bought it for me for Christmas. This makes editing so much nicer, but it's not required. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and deleting the extra silent spots that I don't actually want in there. And at the same time, I can have this transcript open on my other monitor if I want, or I can quickly jump in and open it up. You can see the words that I am saying as I'm saying them. I go through and I can click each of these spots and say, hey, what does it say? What does it say when I get to there? Now, what I did actually is I just scrubbed through looking at the audio channels, and I'm looking right here down at the bottom for when words look like they're getting cut off. And I do Alt Y, give it a little bit more space, you know, just let the words be a little bit more natural. I noticed when this feature came out, I noticed in YouTube Shorts, I'm getting a lot of random shorts where people will just cut their words off mid-word, and I think it's because they're using this editing technique. And it is nice, but you do have to do the cleanup. Like, it's not free. It doesn't just automatically make your videos more interesting, but it does do a lot of the work for you. So if I go here, I actually have some extra space, so I can go like that. I can watch the video. And that seems about right. I don't want to change it from there. Now this one, words crammed together again. So Alt Y, slide it apart, slide it to the left, slide it to the right, delete the stuff in the middle. And you can kind of get an idea. It cut out about a third of the timeline. I still have a bunch of editing stuff that I have to do, but it's just a little bit of cleanup rather than having to figure out exactly what I want. Now, here's the other thing that you get from this. If I go edit and I say transcribe again, let's say that you have a video where you may have cursed in it. You can go, and you don't want YouTube to demonetize that video for obvious reasons. You can go through here and you can type all of your curse words. So let's say that if I said red was a curse word, it would find all of the times that I said red. If I said redstone was a curse word, I could go through and find that. I can click on this word and you can see it highlighted that section of the video. I can cut at the beginning, cut at the end, drop the volume down and put a beep sound effect, which you can make a beep sound effect in this little section. I'm not going to get into it today. I'll put a link to a video in the description on how to make your own beeps, but you can cut, you can drop the volume, you can put a beep in there, and it works pretty easily. On this part of the timeline, you're going to have it's setting your ins and outs. To clear your ins and outs, you use Alt X and it clears that up. But it's really useful if you're trying to like quickly step through a video and fix all of the curse words, for instance. I've never had to do that before in a video, but this is much faster and much easier than any other method. Hey, this is Mad Hatter, and today I'm going to show you how to make a repeater clock. This is a simple clock that uses a repeater and some redstone dust along with a torch to create specific timings. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get started. If I put a repeater down and I put a block here and a block here and a torch here, block here, and I just run some redstone dust. This is the simplest and fastest repeater clock. The way that it works is this powers on that with 1 tick of delay. It comes back around and it's on, which will with 1 tick of delay, and it will turn off that torch. If I adjust the delay, I can make the clock slower and slower. And if I wanted to, I can put a repeater here. You could chain these together and it will work quite nicely at getting pretty slow clocks. This isn't the slowest clock, but that is a very simple and easy to build clock that I use in many circuits. To turn it off, you can grab a lever and you can place the lever on this block and turn it off, this block and turn it off, this one or this one. Any one of these blocks you can turn off the circuit from. Anyway, this is Mad Hatter and I'm out. Bye. So there's a couple more things that I want you to be able to do because this really speeds up my workflow and I think everybody should know about it. First thing, these markers. If you see on this page, I got these blue markers. The way that I'm doing this is I edit my intros in one timeline, I edit my content in another timeline, yada, yada, yada. I put markers where I think that you might be interested. I place those by pushing Control and M. I type out what I want it to say in the YouTube timeline, like in the little caption bar, and I just put them in as I'm editing. It's much easier to do it as you're editing. Then when you are done, you go to the launch like you normally would. I made a YouTube one. I logged in via YouTube. I set my various settings. Down here, I have upload direct to YouTube, but make chapters from markers. This is actually really cool. When you do that, it will actually put the timestamp and the spot in the video for the markers. It makes that step of my my editing process just basically free. And then another thing, I do a compilation timeline. This is sort of the bonus features, I guess. A compilation timeline is where I put everything together and then I add my audio at the end. So you guys probably are aware of the song that I use, but let me grab one quick. We'll grab Snowy Peaks, which is the one I normally use. Then on this extra audio channel, I will go here and I will set this to -24-ish. That gives me the nice background music. You can set it to whatever you want. And then on this channel, if you have the paid studio version, I click on A1, I go to voice isolation, and I turn that to about 80%, 80 to 100% usually. It depends on how much you want. Dialogue leveler, and I change the output gain. And then what I do is I look at my audio levels and make sure that I'm right at this right here. Seems good. And then when I go to my output, there's another checkbox I check, and that is normalize audio, and then I just say normalize the standard. That way it doesn't blow out your people's eardrums when you're watching or make them turn up their audio and turn away. So these are the quick settings that I do when I'm exporting to make things a little bit easier. Saves me so much time editing to try to get those numbers right. Anyway, that's what I've got for you. Hopefully you enjoy. This is Mad Hatter. I do want to see what you do in your creation, so there's a link in my description. There is a self-promo channel for sharing your stuff. Please don't put it randomly in my Discord, but the self-promo channel is where you can put all your self-promo. Anyway, this is Mad Hatter, and I'm out. Bye! Okay, this is Mad Hatter, and I'm going to build a redstone repeater clock. This is a very simple circuit. The way that this works is that it uses a repeater and a couple of pieces of redstone dust in a circle with a... Ooh, there's some bad lag. Let's go out a little bit. Let's close down some stuff. My frame rate decent now? Maybe. Oh, that's why. Let's go and reduce the render distance. Yeah, that's not what I want. $20 chunks is probably fine. Okay. Now let's try again. Hey, this is Mad Hatter, and today I'm going to show you how to make a repeater clock. This is a simple clock that uses a repeater and some redstone dust along with a torch to create specific timings. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get started. If I put a repeater down and I put a block here and a block here and a torch here, block here, and I just run some redstone dust. This is the simplest and fastest repeater clock. The way that it works is this powers on that with 1 tick of delay. It comes back around and it's on, which will with 1 tick of delay, and it will turn off that torch. If I adjust the delay, I can make the clock slower and slower. And if I wanted to, I can put a repeater here and I can put a block there and make it even slower. You can chain these together and it can work. You can chain these together and it will work quite nicely at getting pretty slow clocks. This isn't the slowest clock, but that is a very simple and easy to build clock that I use in many circuits. To turn it off, you can grab a lever and you can place the lever on this block and turn it off, this block and turn it off, this one or this one. Any one of these blocks you can turn off the circuit from. Anyway, this is Mad Hatter and I'm out. Bye. So that's a clip. And you can see it's sort of messy and rough. Let's get into cleaning that up very rapidly and see how that works in Davinci Resolve.